Plan on flying? In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID. Learn how to get your real ID today at tsa.gov/realid or visit your local DMV.
All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Looks like this time we're dealing with something pretty intense.
Yeah.
You've been looking into a potential plane crash or at least a near miss. And get this, a lot of your searches center around plane crashes, specifically in Washington, D.C.
Right. And it's really a mix. You know, you're looking for information about specific things.
Oh, yeah.
Like certain airlines, flight numbers, that kind of detail.
Uh-huh.
But then there's these other searches, like any survivors. And even plane collides with helicopter.
Whoa, those last two, they definitely stand out.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just interested in what happened, but also who was involved and how it all, affected people.
It's almost like you're trying to picture it, right? To see the event unfold in your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
You're spot on. That focus on survivors, it really suggests a concern for the human side of things.
For sure.
Which is something I always find, well, it's both fascinating and important, as we dig into this.
Yeah, it's not just about data points, it's about people. So let's get into some of these searches.
Okay.
The flight number that comes up the most is AA53422. Sometimes you've written it as American Airlines 5342 or just Flight 5342.
Right. And you've even gone deeper. Like you've looked up the airline operating that flight, PSA Airlines, and even the specific model of the plane, a Bombardier CRJ 700.
Wow.
That tells me this isn't just casual curiosity. You're really digging into the nitty-gritty here.
Now, these regional jets, like the CRJ 700, they sometimes have to fly in, trickier weather than those bigger jets.
Oh, for sure.
Could that have been a factor? I mean, it's something to think about as we move forward, right?
Absolutely. The weather on the day of this potential incident, that could be a key piece of the puzzle.
Okay, and then there's the location. All signs point to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Reagan National Airport, or DCA as the insiders call it. And even the Potomac River pops up.
Oh, wow.
That big river right through D.C. that definitely adds another dimension to things.
Yeah, if we're talking about, an incident involving a plane, a major waterway, like that really changes things.
Right. It brings in a whole set of unique challenges and potential dangers.
For sure. It raises the stakes.
And here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Multiple searches for helicopter plane crash DC and even Black Hawk helicopter.
Interesting.
So are we talking about a collision, a near miss, or something else entirely? This really throws a wrench in the works.
It does. And that you're searching Black Hawk specifically, well, that suggests a possible military connection.
Right.
Which opens up a whole new set of questions.
It's like a detective novel unfolding.
Yeah.
A potential plane crash, a helicopter, maybe even the military involved, and all this happening near the Potomac River in the heart of D.C.
Right. And like any good mystery, there are pieces missing.
For sure.
One big one here is the date. Without a specific time frame, it's going to be tough to verify details or find any news reports about this.
That's a good point. But you know what? The lack of a date, while frustrating, it could also be helpful in a way.
How so?
Because it means we can look at all possible incidents, right? Anything involving a CRJ 700 and helicopters near DCA, that might open up some interesting possibilities.
It could.
And it's clear you're not just focused on the incident itself.
Right.
There are searches for survivors, breaking news, even American Airlines stock.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the bigger picture, the aftermath, the impact, and the human cost of it all.
You're right. And those searches for survivors, they're especially powerful.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, do you have a personal connection to aviation? Have you ever been in a situation where you felt that same vulnerability, hoping for good news, for a sense of relief?
It's a question we're thinking about as we delve deeper into this.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of ground to cover, but one thing's for sure. This isn't just a random jumble of searches. There's a story here waiting to be uncovered.
There is. And as we keep digging, there's some searches that pop up that are related to the political side of things.
Oh, interesting.
You've looked up Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C., and even some senators from Kansas, Jerry Moran and Roger Marshall.
Those names, they definitely add another layer to this.
Yeah.
What do you think when you see those searches? Are we talking about government involvement or maybe some kind of policy implications?
That could be,
Yeah.
Maybe you're wondering if these senators were somehow connected to the flight
Right.
or the incident itself.
Like, were they supposed to be on board?
Maybe.
Huh?
Or perhaps their being in D.C. is related in some other way. It's hard to say for sure.
It's a thread worth pulling on, though.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're not just looking at the political angle.
Right.
It's like you're trying to understand every part of this potential story. The who, the what, the when, the why, even the possible consequences, you know?
Yeah, I see that.
You've searched for American Airlines CEO Robert Isom. Like, you're interested in the airline's response, how they might have handled the situation.
It's a natural question to ask.
And then there's the investigative side. You've searched for NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board. Those are the folks who investigate all the major transportation accidents in the U.S.
Oh, they're experts.
And it seems like you're curious about how those investigations work.
Right.
What kind of information they dig up.
Makes sense.
Now, there are a couple of searches that really caught my eye.
Oh, yeah. Which ones?
Sikorsky H-60, that's a type of military helicopter, and then Air Florida Flight 90.
Okay.
That last one, that was a really tragic plane crash in D.C. back in 1982. I remember it well.
It was a major event.
Are you seeing any parallels there?
It's possible you're making connections to past crashes,
Yeah.
trying to see if there are any similarities, any lessons we can learn.
Trying to understand.
Exactly. You're not just looking for information, you're looking for meaning. Trying to put this potential incident into context. See how it fits into the history of aviation in D.C. It's a really thoughtful way to approach this,
It shows that you're thinking deeply about this.
It does, it does.
Then there are searches for Flight Tracker and Flight Radar 24.
Ah, those are tools for tracking flights in real time.
Right. It's like you're trying to visualize what happened, to see the actual flight path of A5342.
And maybe even looking for witnesses or video footage, right?
Yeah.
Because there are searches for video, EarthCam, and CNN.
It's like you're conducting your own investigation.
A little bit, yeah.
Piecing together this story from all these little bits of information you've found online.
Exactly. And those recurring searches for survivors, they really bring us back to that human element we talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
It shows that this potential incident, it really resonates with you on a deeper level.
I get that even with all the technology and safety measures in place, these accidents can still happen.
Yeah, they can.
And when they do, the impact is huge. It goes way beyond the immediate victims. It affects families, communities, the whole industry even.
It makes us all realize how vulnerable we are, how fragile life can be.
You've also been looking into specific aircraft types, searches for regional jet and passenger jet collides with helicopter.
Yeah.
Are you trying to, assess the chances of something like this happening again?
Maybe.
To understand the risks associated with these kinds of planes?
It's possible. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Understanding the dangers can help us make better decisions about travel, about safety.
Absolutely. Then there are searches related to the airport itself.
Oh, like what?
Where is Reagan National Airport and Reagan Airport map? You're trying to picture the scene in your mind.
Right.
Trying to understand the layout, where those points of conflict might be.
Or maybe you're planning a trip to D.C. and want to familiarize yourself with the airport.
Could be.
Or maybe you're just trying to get a clearer picture of the whole area, the geographic context of all this.
That makes sense. But then there's a new location that pops up.
What's that?
Wichita, Kansas, and ICT Airport. That's the code for Wichita Dwight D. Eisenhower National Airport.
Interesting.
This adds a whole other layer of mystery.
It does.
Could there be a connection between Wichita and this potential incident in D.C.?
Maybe the flight originated there.
Or maybe there's a link we haven't even thought of yet.
It's a good question. Every new search term just opens up more possibilities,
It's like we're on this journey constantly discovering new layers.
Exactly.
And you're not just looking at the surface level stuff either.
No.
You're digging into the technical side of things too.
Like what?
Searches for Bombardier CRJ 700 regional jet, Sikorsky H-60 helicopter, even UH-60, which is another name for the Black Hawk.
Wow, you're really going deep trying to understand the specifics of these aircraft.
Yeah.
Their capabilities, their limits, how all those factors might have played into this whole thing.
This reminds me of those online communities that try to solve mysteries and uncover the truth behind unsolved cases.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're bringing that same kind of dedication and attention to detail to this deep dive. It's impressive.
And it's definitely paying off. We've uncovered a lot of information.
We have.
And I have a feeling there's still more to discover.
I think you're right.
But for now, maybe we should take a step back and think about what we've learned so far.
Yeah, good idea. We've been on quite a journey, and it's good to pause and reflect before we go any further. Okay, so where are we now? We've got this possible incident, right?
Yeah.
Involving AA5342, maybe a helicopter collision, and definitely a focus on DC. But there are still some big pieces missing.
You're right, the biggest one being the date.
Yeah.
Without that, well, imagine a detective with a bunch of clues but no crime scene,
Oh, I see what you mean.
We can guess, we can analyze, but we can't definitively say this is what happened.
It's like we have all the ingredients for a great meal, but we're missing the recipe.
Exactly.
We know there's a story here, but we need that date to help us connect all the dots.
And that brings us to the most important question.
What's that?
What are you hoping to find out?
Good question.
What would give you that aha moment, that feeling of closure or understanding about this whole thing?
Are you looking for proof that it actually happened?
Yeah, or are you more interested in the details, the people involved, how it happened, the impact it had?
Whatever you're searching for, this deep dive has shown just how powerful curiosity can be.
It really have.
Even a few search terms can lead to such a fascinating story. It's like a hidden thread waiting to be unraveled.
It's like we all have that inner detective, that desire to understand the world around us.
It makes you wonder, what stories are hidden in your search history? What mysteries could we uncover together?
That's the best part, There are so many stories out there just waiting for someone with a curious mind to come along and piece them together.
So keep asking those questions, keep exploring, and keep digging.
You never know what you might find.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and until next time, happy searching, everyone.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.